Good afternoon, everyone. This is Troy Vossler, co-founder of gener8tor, and this is the gener8tor Founder Series Spotlight. Today, I am joined by Allison Ward, CEO of Pet Krewe. Welcome, Allison.
Hey, Troy, nice to see you.
Let's get it started. Please introduce yourself and Pet and your company. Tell us about Pet Krewe.
Sure. So my name is Allison Ward, and Pet Krewe is my company. And when I went through gener8tor, we were a pet costume company. But since the pandemic, we have had a hard pivot, and now we are a leading provider of what we call premium value food. So it's taking for pets. So it's the idea of democratizing pet food so that all pets have access to high quality food at the value price point.
I love it. And what's your current status? Like whether you think of that in like traction or revenue or notable customers or fundraising, whatever you're comfortable sharing, tell us about your status and traction.
Yeah, so we are established. We've been profitable since our first year of existence. We've operated off of profitability for our expansion, and now our current status is we just did an entire overhaul of our operations, our internal operations and systems, in order to support our growth, which is really exciting. In that each year we're kind of growing at over 300% in the pet food space. So we needed new systems and smarter systems to continue our growth. And that's kind of where we're at, is just investing internally. And every customer of ours has been growing externally. So to marry the two.
And I know you got some big national accounts. Can you share anything about those on the retail side?
Yeah, I can. So we are the biggest. So Walmart sells 25% of all canned pet food in America. Second in line is Target with 8%. And so if you're in with Walmart and you pass your test period of like, was this a food? Did our customers like it or not? And they choose to expand you, it's kind of like you're a household brand now. And so we're excited that Pet Krewe is expanding with Walmart in fiscal year 27, which for Walmart, that actually means March 2026. We're excited that this was our first year with them. It was a successful first year. And we're happy to be in with a group that really values pet nutrition, and their volume of pet food that they sell is tremendous. We had our start with Dollar Tree, and that's one of our most favorite customers to work with, and constantly innovating within their parameters has been fun for my team. So they're another one of our great customers, and we're excited that I think we're in over 10 major stores in the US with a minimum of 200 doors
Oh,
or
that's
more.
incredible. I know I was traveling between Indianapolis and my home here in Milwaukee and stopped off in Indiana and went to a Dollar Tree and saw your product. And so that's always
Hey,
cool. Yeah,
doesn't that feel good when you're like, hey, I know that company?
it's the
I might
best.
have a little bit of that.
I love it. It's the best.
Yeah.
And where is Pet Crew located?
We're here in South Louisiana in New Orleans.
Nice. And why Louisiana? Tell us about like what makes it a great place to start a company or grow a company.
So I started as a pet costume company. And if you know anything about New Orleans, and we do like to costume a little bit. We have a little festival called Mardi Gras that comes once a year in the springtime. But it's always been a hobby and a passion of mine to costume animals. So it made sense my family's here. So of course we grew it here. And to start it off as a very small company, the community was so supportive of, here we go, a costumer. Of course, this is our culture. This is our vibe. And now that we've expanded globally, it's been helpful that my community here in New Orleans has helped reach out to other partners globally and to expand outside of the city.
I love it. Shout out to New Orleans, shout out to Louisiana, and Mardi Gras. Can't forget about that. When did you go through gener8tor? Which program was it? Remind me.
Yeah, it was pre-pandemic, so it was in 2018. I went through Minneapolis.
Nice, Minneapolis. And just tell the audience more about your gener8tor experience, or how did the accelerator help you the most?
Yeah, so I went in before Pet Krewe, I should say, is that I never thought of myself as an entrepreneur. I was just somebody who wanted to not work for the man and to not live by all the corporate rules that are kind of made up and dictated. And I found different ways to do it. And then someone said to me, "Have you ever thought about raising money?" And I said, "No, I just have to work harder, and then I'll eventually grow it." And they're like, "You should look into scaling it," and gave me some ideas. And so I looked into it, and then I got a cold call from a guy from gener8tor that was like, "Hey, you want to get coffee and talk about gener8tor?" And I said, I don't know what this is, but sure. And he was in passing through New Orleans, so he got a cup of coffee, and then I applied, and I was like, wow, this is wild. I could truly benefit from this. So going to gener8tor, going through the program in Minneapolis, meeting the biggest thing to me was meeting all the players in the community and learning about what they do in their everyday jobs, or if they were an entrepreneur, how did they scale, what are they doing, what is successful. And it was more of the understanding of the larger network within the entrepreneur community there that helped me scale and understand what else is out there. And it also assisted me then to think pet costumes are very risky in that it's once a year revenue, Halloween pretty much. And so that became very high risk. And learning that I need something that's going to turn and burn every day was a natural progression into treats and then into food. So just interviewing people that I met through gener8tor was one of the biggest tools for expansion just by learning through their stories.
That's cool. That's a great story. I didn't realize you first learned about gener8tor through it was an in-person like office hours in New Orleans.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. You guys used to do, I don't know if you still do, but the city meetup things.
I love that. Yeah, I used to do them myself. I know our team did. We continue to do it, but
Yeah.
it's always a good reminder. It's always good to hear, on the other end of that, the success story of that's how we discovered you. So I love
Yeah.
hearing. Um, you mentioned earlier like you didn't necessarily see yourself as like a high growth startup or an entrepreneur at some point. What advice do you have for entrepreneurs and founders that are considering an accelerator?
I think you need to ask yourself, what is it that you want to get out of it? And asking questions about if you don't know something, just ask. And if you're looking to get something out of an accelerator, is it to meet more people? Is it to get access to groups that you don't have? And so, like, again, in South Louisiana, we are, especially in 2018, very limited to what kind of capital we could access. And so by going through gener8tor, I met our lead partner. And from there, it helped me access just new worlds of capital and ideas. So that's what I got out of it is really the ideas was the greatest part of gener8tor. And the people that you meet along the way have been super helpful.
I love it. Tell us about either the favorite part of the program or maybe the favorite connection that you made through gener8tor, either during the program or sometime after it.
Yeah, I would say my favorite part of the program ended up, I loved my cohort. We still talk today and they were wonderful and we support each other. And it's to have that group of people that understand what you're going through because it's not easy when you're building something from nothing and to continually build and build and build in the hopes that you'll make it. And that's not always a reality. And it's fun to say, to be on this other side where it's like, okay, we've established, we're profitable, we're a now national brand. But also my cohort is still there and being supportive. So I appreciate that aspect of gener8tor. But then also I met two of my investors and they have been integral in my success. They've had my back. They've guided me, being able to call them and say, hey, I have this question. And it can be very random, or I have this problem. And as soon as I start talking out loud, they can say, okay, this is what you're saying. It sounds like this might be a great pathway. So just meeting people that have more knowledge than you and also building out your support network because things can get hard and a little lonely at times when you're an entrepreneur. So it's nice to know there's others like you.
That really resonates. I think perhaps a underappreciated part of not only gener8tor, but I think any accelerator is that cohort camaraderie. And like you mentioned, not only during the program, in this case, 12 weeks, but, in the now years beyond that program. And so it's always cool to hear that, the anecdotes about you and your cohort still staying in touch,
Yeah.
supporting each other. That's cool.
And I'm cheering them on. I want all of us to be successful. I know some have pivoted and had to change their business and whatnot, but the lessons learned is still supportive of what they're going to do next. And that's fun.
Yes. Yes. My last question I ask every entrepreneur here is if you had one ask for this audience, maybe it's an introduction, an investor, a customer, just general advice or mentorship, what would your ask be?
Sure. I would love to know where you want to see Salty Cat. It's our premium pet food, cat food, and treats, and it's at the value price point. So if you want to drop lines down below, let us know and we can reach out to those stores.
Let's do it. So make sure to engage in the comments on this. We're going to include a link to Pet Krewe. Once again, just thank you to Allison Ward, CEO of Pet Krewe. Congratulations on all the success. And everyone watching, please, if you own a cat or a pet, please become a customer.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Allison.
Bye.